What is going on, everybody? So, welcome to another episode of the All Star Sports Show. It's gonna be a lot of fun tonight, as well. So, if you guys make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure that notification bell. That being said, to kick it right off, Travis Etienne, the brother of running back Trevor Etienne, actually left the Florida Gators to go to Georgia via the transfer portal.
Rob, you had that come. Rob, let me correct you there, because you completely butchered that, man.
Damn.
You said Travis instead of Trevor, and Trevor instead of Travis.
Right.
So little dyslexic moment, wherever you want to call it, there. But so he went where?
To Georgia via the transfer portal. He left Florida to go to their SEC rival.
Okay. That's cool. Hopefully he finds a lot of success over there in Georgia. Because he wasn't getting any in Florida. I mean, the Gators have been a far cry from their 2009-2010 self.
Yeah.
They've been either somewhat decent or just not good. And that's how I feel about it. But hopefully he has a better fit there, and he's great there because his brother Travis has been very, very good in the league. So hopefully he follows suit. So that's what I think about it.
Sticking with college football, though, former quarterback, Malik Murphy actually transfers to Duke. So this comes after Drake May. That I don't think Drake May. Who I think is, who actually went to Notre Dame, transferred over to Notre Dame. So, looks like Malik Murphy is going to give his opportunity with the Duke Blue Devils because obviously with Quinn Ewers returning, which I had a feeling that a lot of Texas fans knew that was going to happen. And they also have Arch Manning, who, to a lot of people, they're not so sure on, to quite honestly. And yeah,
I'm trying to look for that quarterback with the transfer portal thing. Transfer.
And
they said they'll be it's actually Riley Leonard, Rob.
Riley Leonard, thank you.
Riley Leonard from Duke. He is transferring over from Duke. Riley Leonard to Notre Dame in 2024.
Thank you. Because I
had to look it up. I'm like, I don't know if the quarterback you said's right because he's really good where he's at.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna leave that school. Anyway,
so it looks like Duke's going to get their new quarterback for 2024. And look, Duke is one of those schools they're not really known for football. It's more of a basketball type of school.
It's more basketball over there. Coach K over there.
Their
football's been decent. Football's actually they've been getting better. They've been getting better at football. Still pissed off they beat us week 1, but it happens. It's football. But the thing is though, they're getting better at football. They're getting better. But no, they're not getting anything back from the Riley Leonard thing. He's just flat out going to Notre Dame. They're not getting anything back. So they're gonna have to find another quarterback. They'll have to find another quarterback now, which is gonna set them back a little bit. But listen, you got a good roster. That defense is pretty decent. Offense is pretty decent. But Riley Leonard was literally their guy, and they let him go into the portal. Like that's mind-numbingly stupid, if you ask me. Like, you're gonna let the guy walk? You're gonna let the guy walk? Like, come on. Anyway, what other news you got for me, man? For us
now switch to the NFL because obviously there was not really much news on the college. College.
It was all transport portal stuff. It wasn't really
Well, and I mean, the other thing, you had Kyle McCord going to Syracuse, but no one really gives two shits about that. For those who do hate Ohio, everything against Ohio State, but that's a whole nother thing. Its entirety. Switch to the NFL. I know I've seen this when this seen, and I know this is what I had a feeling this was not going to happen. The Pittsburgh Steelers are rumored to keep Mike Tomlin around or extend Mike Tomlin. I'm thinking to myself,
here's
yeah.
Here's my thing about that. Do they want to be mediocre for years to come? Because that's what you're going to get out of Mike Tomlin. That's what you have gotten out of Mike Tomlin for the last decade.
7 years.
Last 7 years, damn near a decade. Decade and a half. Well, actually not a decade and a half. Literally just like 7 years. 7 years of mediocrity. Oh, because you're mediocre, we're going to give you an extension because you're mediocre.
And unfortunately,
It's basically saying your team, you don't really want them to be contenders. You're just thinking, well, at least we're not bad.
Yeah.
You should be wanting to be Super Bowl. You should be wanting to be Super Bowl contenders every damn year. Not just 1 year. Not just 1 year very randomly in 2010 or 2009.
Which was a Bill Cowher team.
Which was literally a Bill Cowher led team, which he inherited already a Super Bowl contender. Which it's dumb. And then you go to maybe like one or two, maybe a few AFC Championship games. Cool. You made a little bit of a run on a few occasions. One in 2017, or not 2017, one, 2014-ish, I would say.
Somewhere around there, give or take.
So you only have like a couple AFC Championship games. Every single time you run into the Patriots, and every single time you lose.
And the fact that you made like the AFC wildcard game 5 times, because look,
5 damn times you're just a wildcard team. 5 times. That's like I said, you guys only want mediocrity, and that's what you're getting out of Tomlin. That's literally all you're getting is Tomlin being mediocre.
And we all can see where we kind of see where the flaws were after Big Ben retired. We are seeing it that he got carried by Big Ben, and yeah, and Art Rooney. Look, I know a lot of Steelers fans. They already starting to hate. Let's be honest, not say already, but Art Rooney's just one of those guys. Like, they don't want to fire coaches because they have 3, actually winning head coaches in their franchise history. One,
but here's the thing, though. Before you had the 3 separate coaches that were good, the guy in the 70s and 80s, and then you move on from him to Bill Cowher in the 90s and the 2000s. But here's the thing, though. The reason why they weren't firing coaches for those 2 separate decades from the 80s to now is because, or from the 80s to the early 2010s, or 2008, was because those coaches knew how to freaking coach great teams. Cowher, great coach. The guy before him, great coach.
And especially the players.
And Tomlin's just okay. That's the problem. He's just okay.
I mean,
when the 2 other coaches, like, you had to find somebody that could fill the shoes of Bill Cowher. Oh, you can't do that. Evidently, you can't do that. So he should be the first guy to get fired.
And also at the same time, try to find a successor to Big Ben, and boy, that's not really working out either. And you had your third stringer somehow play better than your first round pick. and Kenny Pickett. And Mason Rudolph's, quite honestly, when you look at the QB play as an entirety, it's not that much better. It's.
But here's the thing, though. Kenny Pickett, he's just conservative with the football. Very conservative with the football. At least with Mason Rudolph, he might throw a few picks here and there, like your Kenny Pickett's, but he's nowhere close to being as bad as Pickett. He's nowhere close to being as bad as he's not close to as bad as goddamn Trubisky is. Mr. One-Hit Wonder.
Yeah. The fact he's even in the league for a decade should speak you of how crap.
It's not a decade. It hasn't been a decade because he went to the league in 2018. 2018. That's not a decade. That is not a decade. I don't know where you're getting that decade. Nearly reaching a decade. Nearly reaching a decade. It's half a decade.
That's what I was saying. In terms of service,
you said a whole decade, dude. You said a whole decade.
But yeah, there's just.
But dude, like, I was saying since the last time he started, he got mollywopped by Myles freaking Garrett.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he wasn't a bad quarterback. I really thought Mason Rudolph was not a bad quarterback.
I would say average at best.
I'd take average over whatever the hell Kenny Pickett is. Whatever the hell Trubisky is. Who's terrible. Who I don't even know why he's he's a second stringer. He should be a third stringer. You never see the field.
Realistically, he should be a third stringer, but the fact that he's a number 2 that's hilarious, quite honestly. And Pittsburgh's just one of those teams that's like, and you could probably throw New England into it too. They're still on their old tradition way, so to speak. You have the Steelers way, like I said, I can't really say much.
The Steelers way is just not firing coaches. That's their problem. The quarterback issue, I knew they were gonna struggle a bit to find the successor to Roethlisberger, and I know the Patriots were going to struggle a bit to try to find the successor to Tom Brady. I understand that part of it, but you gotta coach these players to develop and be better than what they are, and they're not doing it.
Boy, it's very ugly if you're a Steelers fan. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I mean, you got a nice.
Somehow they still have a winning record. Somehow they're winning games. Somehow, it's kind of. But here's the thing, though. Honestly, I kind of feel the same way about my Eagles. We're winning games, but at what cost? The offense isn't doing great.
Yeah.
The defense is getting better. I'll say that. The defense is getting better under Patricia. I will say that.
Oh, but yeah.
The offense is bad. The same thing with the Steelers. Their defense is good. TJ Watt. Like that defensive core is great. You got freaking Minka.
Speaking of TJ Watt, he's on pace to make some NFL history because no player in NFL history has reached back-to-back seasons with 20+ sacks or more.
Exactly. The defense is fine. It's just the offense. You don't have a quality, but the thing is, though, we have a quarterback, so our situation's different. They don't really have a quarterback that's like anything to write home about at the starter position. They should have kept Mason Rudolph as starter. He should have been. If this is what the plan should have been, and I saw the original vision in 2019. Once Big Ben retires, it should have went to Rudolph. Should have went to Rudolph right there. Have Rudolph start as the new franchise guy. If he doesn't work out, sure, draft another quarterback. Give him a few years to develop. If he doesn't develop, then draft another quarterback. But they quickly give up on him.
This year, they got I would say okay quarterback talent because Drake May has his moments where I've seen he's very.
But here's the thing, though. Anything would be better than Pickett. But anyway, back to what I was saying, though. They should have just kept Mason Rudolph. If he doesn't If he didn't
Yeah, I mean,
develop,
you guys should have get at least
I never
like
speak.
just give him a year, and see what you
But
got
yeah,
with
it's
him.
like, yeah, see what you have with the guy. Give him a chance. They gave him like a small sample size. He struggled a little bit. Dude, our quarterback fucking struggled and he had a small sample size in 2020.
Oh
What did
yeah.
we do? We kept the guy. He developed.
Mm-hmm.
They should have done that with Rudolph. Mason Rudolph. Keep the guy around. Keep him at the starting position. Develop him. And they would have been okay. At least okay on offense. Even with Matt
Yeah,
Canada still there. And his trash ass.
and that's the thing too. When you look at this Pittsburgh offense, I mean, we got Deontay Johnson, George Pickens is your 1 and 2, and I think you also have Calvin
They're
Austin
loaded.
is your
They're
speedy number
loaded.
3.
Dude, they are loaded. They are loaded. They
And
have
yet you still
quality
and like
receivers. The
now
offensive
Najee, I
line is
don't think he,
but yeah,
Najee still is not.
Najee's pretty good. Najee's pretty good, but the problem is they also don't have an offensive line. So what can you do with the run
That's
offense?
true.
So the run offense is going to take a hit because they don't have an offensive line. They don't really have an offensive line now. So part of it is Pickett. Part of it isn't, in a
There's just a lot.
sense.
There's just a
It's
mixture of
just that
problems.
there's a mixture of problems with the offense. The defense is fine. All they really got to do is shore up the offensive line. And if Pickett doesn't work out with an offensive line, give the reins to Mason Rudolph. And dump Trubisky. Why the hell do you still have him on the roster is beyond me.
Yeah, but like I said, there's Pittsburgh. For a team that was like the pinnacle. Them in New England were the pinnacle of winning. I would say in the late probably the 90s and the 2000s, and we're seeing once they're both Hall of Fame quarterbacks retire, we're seeing a different outcome. Now, both teams, and look, I know. Look, I'm not saying we're like we're like you're kind of comparing apples to oranges here, but you got to look at the picture of if you're a Steelers fan. And shout out to Bobby who has to put up with the crap that the New
Here's
England
the
Patriots.
thing. I feel like ooh, excuse me. I feel like the Steelers' position is a bit better because they have a winning record, or they're like at least 500 somehow. Patriots, they can't buy a
That's a
win.
whole different conversation
They
to be had.
couldn't buy a win. And here's the problem that I have with that is that they're trying to play this like old school 2000s
Yeah.
football. This is a league where offensive line isn't really going to be dominant to like pass block a lot. So there's a lot of college offenses. The domination of the college offense took over the league.
Oh yeah,
College
for
offenses took
sure.
over the league. You have teams running RPOs, teams running read options, teams using the quarterback to run. Like that's the thing. What does
Oh yeah.
what does New England do? Let's just focus on pocket passing. Something that hasn't
Yeah.
worked in 10 years. Like
Mm.
that's the thing. It's like it's something that hasn't worked in 10 years. And
Oh, for sure.
hell, even one the best pocket passer in the game, people called him the GOAT because and the former Patriot. He even struggled last year. He
Yeah,
went
I mean,
8-9 last year, snuck into the playoffs because pocket passing is not the way to go anymore. It's not.
no,
Pocket
because I
passing is
mean, you've
dead.
seen teams. It's the new age of the mobile quarterback with Lamar. He got changed how not just Lamar himself, but he was a part of a change to that Baltimore team where they were on usually almost every year on paper. They're always consistent Super Bowl contenders. The always biggest knock on the Ravens is like they're always constantly getting hurt, whether it's Lamar, sometimes Mark Andrews, and obviously at the same time They need also have wide receiver. Didn't have wide receiver help. Now this year they do. Now they're fighting for the 1 seed with the Miami Dolphins. Who look from an offensive standpoint, I like it, but I can't trust them in the
Again
playoffs.
with Miami though, it's like who did? And I'm gonna keep the same energy that fans were keeping on us last year. Who the hell did they play this year?
Exactly, like because you would think like this team's gonna be people were. I would say early in the season, it's kind of funny that we were all talking about that 7 point. Well, we were kind of at the time laughing at the Broncos, which we'll get to in just a second because boy, yeah, something's going on down in Denver, which is
Here's what I think happened. It's not that they gave up on Russ. People are like, oh, they gave up on Russ. He sucks, and Russ is the issue. And for me, I don't think that's the case because Russ had a good season this year. It's the team around him that is absolute trash. The offensive line is trash.
Russ was actually pretty decent for where he's at right now in his career. They put up 26 touchdowns.
Dude, I know, but let me finish, bro. Hold on, bro. But he had 26 touchdowns. The offensive line was God.
Yeah, that's question mark.
He was getting sacked a lot. The receivers at times dropped passes.
Mm-hmm. Very little running game.
There's been a few times where the refs screwed them, but they screwed everybody. But here's the thing. They're putting all this, and the NFL fan bases are putting all this blame on Russ. It wasn't him this year. Last year, it was definitely him. This year, no.
No, not so much.
It's not. There's no issue. There was no issue with him this year. The problem is that this team is still a fucking dumpster fire around him. They're dumb. Also, John Elway, he might have been a great QB, but he is a shit GM. Let's be honest. He lucked out. He lucked out getting Peyton Manning. He lucked out having Von Miller. He lucked out having Demaryius Thomas. Rest in peace, brother. He lucked out getting these players. He lucked out. And now he doesn't have them. He can't draft. He can't draft for shit.
And it's also kind of crazy too. And going back to that Patrick, drafting with Mahomes, and the fact that you had multiple NFL teams looking forward to get Mahomes, nobody decided to take it.
Dude, they were drafting over the Chiefs. They picked. I forgot. I think it was either Paxton Lynch or Trevor Siemian. One of those two.
Oh, no.
Over Patrick Mahomes.
That was Paxton Lynch, if I remember.
That was Paxton fucking Lynch in 2016. God. Paxton Lynch. Oh my God! It was either 2016 or 2017.
And
no, it was 2016. They picked Paxton Lynch over. You're a quarterback guru, reportedly, and you picked Paxton Lynch over Patrick Mahomes, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Huh? Okay. Y'all could have still been a Super Bowl contender if they could have been a Super Bowl contender still if they had Patrick Mahomes. They would have. But they don't have him. Because they fucked it up. Then Paxton Lynch was a bust. Complete fucking bust in every league that he played in. The NFL, the CFL, the XFL, the USFL.
Yeah, exactly. The only dude in professional football history to get benched in four different professional leagues.
4 of them. 3 of the leagues were spring leagues. One was the National Football League. He got cut from every single one of them because he sucked that bad.
Like so far, when you look at that 2017 draft class, he had Myles Garrett number 1. Unfortunately, Mitch was a bit, and also Chicago. We're looking at you too because you're.
But here's the thing, though. They didn't know he would be bad, because Mitch Trubisky looked fine in college too. The problem was he kind of got complacent after 2018.
Yeah.
He got complacent. He got lazy. And the team around him started to suck too again because, of course, McCaskey sucked.
Yeah, and
we've been screaming that from the Raptors since like forever.
Since
Okay,
the last few years of this channel's history.
Last few years we've been screaming the McCaskey suck. We need to sell that team. But anyway, it's like you took Paxton Lynch over Patrick Mahomes, Denver. And then you take after that, you messed it up again, picked up Drew Lock.
Now, actually, their first round, they actually took a tackle with their first rounder in 2017.
Yeah, you took it. You freaking Patrick Mahomes is on the board during that time because they obviously the Chiefs took them after the Broncos pick, if I remember correctly. But your first pick, Patrick Mahomes is still on the freaking board because the Chiefs haven't gone yet. Okay, you pick a tackle over the quarterback, which is something you needed because your short-term franchise guy, Peyton Manning, he retires.
And it's also kind of crazy when we look at the other quarterbacks that Denver has had post Manning. Yeah, guys like Brock Osweiler, who
I don't completely blame the Broncos on the Broncos thing.
I think Brock Osweiler was somewhat decent.
Dude, he was good. Dude, he was good in 2015. That was the thing.
Just
when he came in for Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning was struggling, or he got hurt, but he was struggling, so he got benched a few times for Osweiler. Osweiler played significantly better than Peyton that year. And it's like, I would have been fooled too. I would have been fooled. If I was a GM of the Broncos, I would have been fooled too. Let's be honest.
It really is. And
I don't blame Brock Osweiler on the Broncos there. I don't. Paxton Lynch for sure then. Because what the hell did they see in Paxton? Because in college, he didn't even look that great either.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell were they seeing in this guy? Like, he's not great. But after that, they went with Drew Lock. Drew Lock was also a sleeper pick.
Yeah,
and he didn't work out that well. He had a decent rookie year, but then after that, he fell off a cliff. He's a solid backup, but he's not a good starter. Drew Lock.
Yeah,
he's a solid backup, but he's not a good starter. That's the thing. He's a generational backup quarterback. Like that's the same thing with guys like guys like Josh McCown. Not a great starter, but he's a good backup if you need him.
And he could be. And McCown's one of those guys. And he may not be shown flashy, but he could also be a mentor for. He's basically like a bridge quarterback. Is basically if you want to look in that context.
I wouldn't say a bridge because again, he was not a good starter. He wasn't a good starter. But at times, if he comes into a game and he needs you to just, game manage, he will do that.
Oh, for sure.
He's a game manager first. He's not a great quarterback. He can't throw the ball over 30 yards. He's getting picked off. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
He's more of like, a couple slant routes, touchdown.
And a couple crossers, too. He's just one of the short middle of the field type.
Yeah, that's what a game manager is. It's like he's a short yardage guy. He's not, I'm going to bomb it down the field and see if I can get a Hail Mary touchdown or a go route touchdown.
Which is kind of where my nitpick is in today's league, because we're seeing a lot of teams try to bomb it downfield. And going back to Pittsburgh, who decides to probably make the most.
Again, this has been a few weeks and we're still talking about this shit. Mitch Trubisky.
On a 4th and 2.
On a 4th and 2, bro?
Like literally.
I don't know who the hell called that play. It was probably Tomlin, which is why I don't want him there in Pittsburgh. Because he sucked. He makes the
boneheaded decisions. Boy, that video is
you have a boneheaded coach calling that play and a boneheaded quarterback making the wrong fucking read.
And literally,
What's gonna happen?
your best
Disaster.
rusher was Jalen Warren. More than I think at that time, Jalen Warren was your better rusher of your running backs. Like, it's a fourth and manageable too, and yet
it's 4th and fucking 2. Run the football there.
Like I watched.
Hell, I made that move in fucking Madden. I'm not even a fucking coach.
Like it's
4th and 2, you run the football.
Yeah. Now,
but
sticking with the NFL, Kansas City, we gotta have a conversation because what the fuck?
So
the Chiefs fall to 9-6 after losing to the Raiders. Now, granted, the Raiders are still in the playoff on, which is crazy.
And also, they got a better coach in Antonio Pierce. They do.
Super underrated player, by the way, too. But that's here nor there.
Oh! I loved Antonio Pierce. He was great when he was a player, but as a coach, he's also.
I'll give you my thoughts on that after we. It just seems like not just the Chiefs, but don't you notice that the quarterback play this year has been kind of mid
in all facets, like every team.
With most teams, except for the guys like Josh Allen, who's actually, constant.
I would say, Josh Allen's pretty good. Brock Purdy, he's phenomenal. I'll tell you that he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
he's been phenomenal lately.
But he's kind of hitting those stretches where
he had that random lull in that schedule where they lost 3 games and he was throwing a few picks here and there. But then after that, he cleaned it up. So he's still pretty good. Josh Allen's good. The problem with some of these quarterbacks being mid, it all chalks up to either, a slight regression, as it unfortunately that happened to Trevor Lawrence. He's taken a bit of a regression.
It pains me to see that.
It hurts like hell as a Clemson fan to just say that, because I liked him in college. He helped our team win a few natties.
But we'll talk more of the Jacksonville Jaguars because I want to bring up a not a serious question, but a question that I think it has to be asked. But which we'll keep going after that as well.
But anyway, as I was saying, though, the problem with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, it's not that Patrick Mahomes is mid. He's not. The problem is receivers can't catch. Evidently, Kadarius Toney doesn't even know where the hell he is on the field half the time. And also, Patrick Mahomes wants to act like a little you-know-what and cry about calls, knowing damn well the call was obvious. So you got finger pointing, they're blaming the refs half the time. Receivers can't catch. Kadarius Toney he doesn't know where to line up on the field. Newsflash, idiot! Yeah. Newsflash, you moron! You line up behind the fucking sticks. Yeah, you line up behind the line of scrimmage. You don't line up on the scrimmage.
And shout out to Coach Dante too, and he said it best: if your players are not executing, it's going to look ugly.
You're not going to win. You're not going to win half the time. Then, if your players aren't executing, if they're dropping passes. If your players are finger pointing at the refs,
Travis Kelce looks fucking lost out there for whatever reason. Last game they played, he looked so goddamn lost out there. Like
for the last few games, he's looked lost. I don't know if he's trying. I don't know if he's
going on.
Everybody's chalking up to and making jokes saying he's trying too hard to impress Taylor, but I don't know what's happening.
And Travis,
I don't know what's happening. I know the one game, when he played us, I could see why he struggled because we were triple covering him like a motherfucker in that whole game. But
he's the number one option. Quite honestly,
he's the number one option. And he's even struggling to catch a ball. So nobody is catching a ball. Nobody.
And you got your couple running backs who not say they're injury prone, but just really can't stay on the field. And Isaiah Pacheco, I remember in the last couple of years, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, as good as he is, always had a fumbling problem. And
A
boy,
lot of, and have you noticed this too? A lot of players are getting benched this year.
yeah, I've
A
noticed.
lot of players are getting benched for either bad play or like a lot of players are getting benched. Mac
Yeah, I've
Jones
never seen
constantly getting benched.
a year of football where we're seeing quarterback QB play was down, players are getting benched. Um, just this year kind of was meh. Quite honest,
Kind of,
2023.
honestly, it was mad, but it was kind of weird to see this because
Yeah,
like
it's been a weird season.
it felt like high school.
Yeah,
If
it's
you're
like
if you're bad,
it's
you're benched.
oh yeah, and the Chiefs. Case in point. No, do I think they're going to make the playoffs? Absolutely, but I don't.
The problem here, they're walking on a fine line here
Very, very, very fine line.
because two game win streak playoffs or 1 game win streak playoffs, 2 game losing streak they're out.
Because
They lose the last 2, they are out. So
and
right
to Andy
now,
Reid, I'm thinking to myself, like, when's the last time Andy Reid's ever had obviously, because usually Andy Reid's usually what 12, 13 wins a year since his time
usually
with the Chiefs.
it usually ranges from 10 to 13 wins a year. 10
I
to
think he's
13.
already one time I think what a couple 14 win seasons.
He had a
But the
couple
fact that
14
he's not
wins.
even having a double digit win season this year is just weird.
Yeah, but also too, last time that he didn't have a double-digit win, unfortunately, I have to bring it up. The 4-12 2012 Eagles,
Oh God, why was I? Ugh.
and it happened like that was the last time it ever happened that way. Was 4-12. That was the last time he had a single-digit record, and the team missed the playoffs. The thing is, it could happen again with the Chiefs. They could go 9-8 and miss.
And I'll say this too, though. I think the biggest positive for the Chiefs is their defense. Their defense has actually been better the last in years past. Now, granted, they don't have.
Yeah.
Chris Jones is still on an old pro level. Trent McDuffie, who I had my doubts coming out of college, but then again, the Washington Huskies are really well known for some great secondary play. But just outside of that, I mean, George Karlaftis, I've liked what I've seen from him because I don't know if anybody remembers the skepticism when he got taken by the Chiefs. I was like, is this really going to work? But
Listen,
decent rookie year.
listen. With the draft being such a crapshoot, any pick of like, is this gonna work? Like, no one knows for sure.
And the
But
and I'm looking and I'm shout out to and according to Pro Football Reference, during their 96 season, they had 3 games where they put up over 30 plus. Outside of that, it's 20 or less down that stretch. Well, except for their thinking with New England. But
yeah,
Las Vegas,
it's like every single game they're only putting up like 20 to 25 points. That's it. That's
like
all they're
teams
putting
like the
up. Is
Bears
just
in week 3, they put up 41. They they barely and quite honestly, they barely got by the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins gave the Chiefs a lot of freaking problems
they
in
did,
that game.
and yeah, they gave them a hell of a lot of problems. But I feel like the problems started week 1. Like really started week 1, because for them to lose to the Lions the way they did, 25 or what was it, 23-20 that game week 1.
Yeah.
Um, that's when the problems should have like really started, because it was like they lost to the Lions of all teams. And I get the Lions aren't a bad team, but you guys are supposed to be Super Bowl contenders. They're supposed to be just coming off a rebuild, making the playoffs just last year.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
they're coming off of a rebuild. This is their second year, so they shouldn't, like, they look like, a playoff team, the Lions do, but, anything can happen in playoffs. But
because
again, if they either miss the playoffs or make the playoffs, hell, if they make the playoffs, if nothing changes on the offensive side of the football, they're one
it's
hit
gonna get
wonder.
ugly. And
It's gonna get
look,
ugly. It's gonna get ugly in the playoffs very fast. They'll be first round exits for sure.
so far, like in terms and when you look at how they can do like their conversions on third down, they're fifth in the league. Now, granted, that's actually pretty good. I've always because they got to, like I said, when you have a conversion on either Patrick Mahomes scrambling because obviously your wide because obviously you can see that Mahomes doesn't trust. And honestly, I'll say this
Yeah,
too,
I've noticed that too. There's been a few times where Patrick Mahomes goes, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself."
because he can't trust them.
And honestly, I feel the same way about the Eagles too. It's like Jalen Hurts is like, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself," and he runs, and that's how we win half the time. So again, some comparisons there. Pains me to make that comparison this year, but
But
that's
it
how it
has
is.
to. It has to be said.
Has to be brought up.
In
But
terms of fourth
again,
down conversion, they converted 44% of the time, which is good for 24th in the National Football League as an offense, league ranked.
yeah, they're near the
They're
bottom.
well below. I would say that's almost middle of the pack in terms of fourth down conversion percentage.
That's like middle of the pack, but also almost near the bottom. That
That's oh,
they're like in the lower tier of the middle of the pack. But that's like that's a problem. That is a problem that needs to be addressed. Is what in the hell are we going to do with these receivers? And also, can Travis Kelsey next year have a bounce back season? Because this is not good. When your star
it's
tight end isn't even playing great.
no, not at
When
all.
your receivers are terrible. Your tight end is kind of regressing a bit. Haven't had the
At the
best
same
stretch of
time,
games.
true, but at the same time, I think a lot of people don't realize too. He's also getting older, and Kelsey's
He's
34.
also getting older. He's also getting a bit older on that side. But also like Patrick Mahomes, man, quit complaining about calls, bro. Quit.
And I think Dante said it best too. When we look at the wide receiver core long term, they definitely missed Tyreek Hill. Now, granted, the short term when they won the Super Bowl, that's all well and dandy. But when you look at the long term picture, it's
But
they really
again,
screwed.
this is what happens to teams, though. This is what happens to teams who make the Super Bowl or they win the Super Bowl. There's always a Super Bowl hangover. There's always a downside to winning the Super Bowl. Always.
I mean, right
And
now, the Chiefs, they don't even have 1,000-yard receiver right now in their wide receiver core. It is right now
because
the
none
only
of them,
one
like I said, man, none of them can catch a ball. None
the
of them
only one
can
that
catch.
is as close to 1,000 yards is Kelsey.
That's
That's
it.
bad. That's not saying much. Because Rashid Rice, I'm going to give him, like I said, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I like what I see because I think he's going to be something special long term. Just I don't think his impact is. I know I've seen some people kind of give him a high expectation. For me, I had like a low bar because like I want to see what he can do, how he can transitions. Like what I've seen in a very short sample size of what he's done. McCall Hardman coming back hasn't done jack fucking squat.
No, McCole Harbin has been really, really
Sky
sad
Moore's
this
been
year.
has been very disappointing.
Oh, for sure, Scotty.
Because
Yeah,
remember the hype Sky Moore had come out of college.
Yeah, yeah. He had incredible potential. These analysts were saying, and he has all the hype and adulation. Oh, they drafted well by getting Sky Moore. It's
And,
like now it's like I don't know. I don't know.
as
Like
we say,
he's
hindsight's
young.
2020. And if I'm
Hindsight's
Brett Veach
2020.
and
Yeah,
stuff like that, it's like, was it really worth? I mean, look, and I want to say it's like, oh, they sacrificed getting rid of Tyreek Hill for a Super Bowl, but at the same time, like you got to really think, like, did they really sacrifice their number one for another championship because I'm like I said, I'm not going to make this whole quote unquote devil magic crap.
Here's the thing. And I know it's just me as an Eagles fan saying this as biased and shit like that, which I don't think the Chiefs, but yeah, it sounds biased, but promise you I'm not. Okay?
We need those type of people.
Honestly, they should have won last year's Super Bowl because the team was playing poorly in the first half. They were.
Mm-hmm.
And if the defense was playing as good as they were in the first half, the Eagles defense, they would have lost this game.
Yeah.
Because they were, playing sound defense. They were doing a great job getting to the pass rush, because again, that's also an issue this year, where pass rush is kind of suspect. They were suspecting the playoffs last year, suspecting the Super Bowl last year. They kind of got bailed out by bad DC play by the Eagles.
Yeah,
that's all it was. They got bailed out by poor coaching in the second half by the Eagles. And on the defensive side of the ball. The offensive side of the ball was fine. The defensive side of the ball wasn't great. But they should have won that one. They should have not won last year. They got bailed out by that defense from the Eagles. This year, it's like nobody can do anything.
No.
Nobody can do anything. Mecole Hardman's taking a big hit. Kadarius Toney is doing what he did in New York, which ain't good. All right,
and the fact that
Sky Moore, he's not doing that great. The only guy that was really trying to carry this team was both Kelsey and
Rashee Rice from SMU.
Huh?
Rashee Rice at times.
No. Rashee Rice, yeah, he was decent, but the real elite play only came from Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Let's be honest.
For sure. I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
So none of the receivers are really doing anything. Rashee is okay. I'll give you that one. But other than that, they got bricks for hands. And Patrick Mahomes is now crying for calls because he knows his team ain't it without calls. That's the problem. He's crying for calls because he knows his team can't win without him. And it's like, this team has just become a dumpster fire on offense. Defense, they're fine. Like you said, they're fine. They got a whole defensive core there. But that's the thing. They're just okay on one side of the ball.
Like, defense has been pretty good so far. And if you look at the rankings, they're in certain categories, like they're in the top 15. They're top 5.
Yeah, they're tops. They're tops in the league in every statistical category on defense. The offense is bottom in the league in statistical categories. Only one side is doing good, Rob. Only one side.
And it's not just the Chiefs, but you look at the around the league. Most offensive play has been very below average this year. I mean, Philly, Kansas City.
I feel like Philly's only problem is that they're not running the ball. They're not setting up the pass. They're just pass.
Yeah. Well, I'm just
saying, start running the ball, like if they do what they did in the first half of the last game, I know we just escaped with a win, but they should have blown them out in the second freaking quarter. To be honest, but the reason why they got up 20-3 was because they were inserting RPOs, runs, play action passes. That's what worked last year. And people were also, and yes, you have they're not the same team as last year, yada yada. Yeah, of course they're not. But the only reason they would succeed is if they basically have the same offense as last year. So they should be the same team on offense. Defensively, I can see why they would take a minor hit. But defense has honestly gotten better under Matt Patricia.
No, yeah.
So that's fine. And people are, defense is still bad. No, they're not that bad now. Week one, whenever Patricia came in, they were bad. Under Desai, they were bad. But under Patricia, they've been good. The problem with the Eagles is that the offense is so anemic because the play calling has been pass heavy.
And you're
You
letting
gotta
your
insert
defense get gassed way too early.
getting off the field on fourth downs super quickly. The defense is out there, and the reason why they're giving up scores is because the defense is gassed. When they're not gassed, they play great. Because
Yeah,
the first half they only gave up what? 3 or the first half they only gave up what? 10?
only 10 points.
Only 10 points. Second half they're giving up 20. Because guess what? For some reason in the second half you're giving up what worked in the first half, and that's runs. Running the football, RPOs, play action pass. And this is a nice segue to the Eagles because I'm now in a full on rant mode. I'm like in the middle of a rant. But if the Chiefs want to succeed, the receivers have to be better. Keep doing the run game. The run game, could get better. But back to the Eagles though. If they want to win in the playoffs, because right now they're going to be in the playoffs. They're at 11-4 right now. If they want to play like they want to go back to Super Bowl, call some runs, call some RPOs, do play action for an entire 60 minutes for 2 of these games, 3 of these games. Excuse me. And actually, if we're going to be a wild card team, 4 of the games.
Yeah.
It's like, so all they really got to do is insert running plays, RPOs into the playbook and do it for 60 minutes. That's all you got to do, Philly.
And also at the same time, let's take a look at Baltimore. They run the RPO probably better than anybody.
RPO, play action passes.
They're going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC?
Exactly. RPOs.
The RPO.
Okay. All right. RPOs, play action passes. They run the freaking football, bro.
Yeah.
Hell, every week we're like freaking that one woman who's a complete fucking narcissistic liar now, knowing that fact. Pulling out her flip phone, run the dang ball, Bert.
Yeah.
I still don't like that movie because she's a narcissistic asshole.
But
in real life. But anyway, I digress.
Moving on. Now the question, since we didn't mention about the Jaguars, now the question I'm going to posing to a lot of people, and you too, are the Jacksonville Jaguars in trouble of missing the playoffs? Because they were starting out 8-3, and now they're 8-7 in the AFC South, and you have teams like Indy playing some good solid football.
They fell off.
Houston has kind of hit a bit of a wall, but they're still playing some good football.
They fell off a cliff. They fell off a cliff. The Jacksonville Jaguars started 8-3, now they're 8-7. That just tells me just flat out, they fell off a cliff. Now they can win the next 2 and make the playoffs. But now they need other teams to help out. If they win so and so games, this team has to lose so and so games. Like if this team wins that scenario, like if the Jaguars win the next 2 and some other team has to lose the next 2 for them to make the playoffs, or at least one of the next 2, they're still in the playoff hunt. But the problem is, y'all were 8-3, and you controlled your own destiny.
Exactly.
As a division leader. And not shocking, the first 12 games, or the first actually 8 games. Trevor Lawrence looked great. And for some reason, after they started 8-3, they just fell off a cliff. The quarterback play took a hit. Defensively, they took a hit. Everywhere on that, like the team took a hit.
Oh yeah,
they just fell off a cliff. It was a 4-game losing streak after starting 8-3, and then they just
they're bottom out.
They're bottoming out. This is what I would call a collapse. This is a true collapse because you start 8-3 and now you're 8-7. You have a 4-game losing streak.
They pretty much had that division locked up like halfway through the season.
Halfway through the season, you had 8-3. You were division leaders. You had it locked up. All you had to do was win 2 or 3 games, and you had the division.
And unfortunately, you could not do that.
You couldn't even do that because you lost 4 straight. Now you don't even you lost 4 straight. Okay, hold on. You lost 4 straight. You couldn't even keep your division lead. You don't even control your own destiny anymore. I don't think. And it's just been bad.
Nope. It's concerned. It's very concerning.
It is concerning. And the thing is, I'm getting mad like it's my team. It's not. It is not my team. So I shouldn't have cared. But come on, y'all started 8-3, and now you bottomed out.
Yeah. Anyway. Speaking of benching,
to answer your question, no, will they make the playoffs? At this point, I don't know. Because if they break out of this 4-game skid that they found themselves in after starting 8-3, 2 games. It's like the Chiefs. You win 2 games, you're in the playoffs. Or you win 3 games. Or no, 2 games. Yeah, 2 games, and you're in the playoffs. You're practically in the playoffs. But again, though, it all comes. If you win this many games, the team has to lose this many games to miss.
Yeah.
If it's one of those, then I don't know, because I can't predict the future. But
this week they got the lonely 2-13 Carolina Panthers, and if you can't beat them,
if you can't beat a team that's so piss poor, then if they lose this next game and they go 8-8,
actually be
8. If they have an 8-8 record after losing to Carolina, I'm saying they're losing this next game and they're missing. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, because there's no excuse for them to lose to Carolina.
No,
this late in the season with playoff implications on the line. Hell,
yeah.
Even though we have our shit locked up, kind of, because we haven't clinched the division yet, because we lost. We were out of the division. Now we're back in the division, and whatever. But if we would have lost to New York, I would have been more pissed off than I was on Sunday. But this is a different scenario. Jacksonville, if they lose to Carolina, their fans are going to be pitchforking to freaking TIAA Bank freaking Stadium. Tony Khan, Nick Khan, not Nick Khan. Who else? Shad Khan. Shad Khan, Tony Khan, you better be freaking hiding somewhere. Because the fans will be coming.
It's not pretty, I would say.
It's like they gotta win. They gotta win out. And if they don't win out, they're missing the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
If they lose this, I will tell you a definitive answer, because right now my answer stands is I don't know if they're making the playoffs or not. If they lose to Carolina, that is your definitive answer, being no. They're missing.
Yeah. It all
depends on how the Carolina game goes for the Jaguars. If they lose to Carolina, they're out, in my opinion. They're out.
Boy. And they're going to get laughed at, and rightfully so, because you should not even lose to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
So moving on, since we did talk about benching, so we saw a couple, we saw as NFC East rivals, we seen our in-division benching, so to speak. So you have the New York Giants are actually going with Tyrod Taylor for Week 17, and then
again, I feel like Tommy DeVito didn't have the best game. That's why he got benched for Tyrod in the second half of that game. So he didn't play that great against us start out. Because he got blown the fuck out 20-3, and then he got set by He got sat down by the coach, and Tyrod came in. He made it kind of. Tyrod was better because he made it competitive, but like I can see why they're going with Tyrod over the
and
rookie Tommy
and
DeVito.
and Tyrod. I mean, if you're anybody's looking for a backup, solid backup, but just
Oh
has
yeah,
been through a lot, just keep away from
oh,
doctors because for whatever reason, it's
for
always with
doctors
him in the
always
medical.
fuck them up. Doctors always fuck them up.
Case in
But
point for those who signed with the Chargers, punctured lung for like how on a simple. I forgot what it was, but moving on.
but
And also,
again, but here's the thing though too. Look at last year with that the Eagles player. I think it was Gardner Johnson. How the hell do you lacerate a kidney? What a tackle!
exactly.
Like, and also, and it's like a lot of injuries happen internally, like lacerated kidneys or punctured lungs. How does that even happen with hits?
And also, too, before we talk about Washington, there's been a shit ton of injuries this year. And most
Yeah,
from the starting quarterbacks. Joe Burrow,
yeah. You have like
Rodgers was a surprise. And
yeah. You basically have like 5 teams with backup starting this year,
yeah, that's
and you had Tommy DeVito start over Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones got hurt. You
Jones
had
can't stay healthy either.
Jones can never stay healthy. You had Aaron Rodgers go down week 1, 4 plays in. Four
Which
plays in, he's
nobody
out.
knew that was going to happen.
Dude, like you had Jets fans' dreams turn into nightmares that night. 4 plays in.
Yeah.
You had Kirk
It's kind of
Cousins is
crazy.
down. Kirk Cousins went down.
That was
And then you had
unfortunate, quite honestly.
yeah, then they had to trade for a backup because the other backup sucked. So they got who'd they get? Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs was starting for a minute there.
Or the
Then you
pastronaut,
had
as was people were calling
called
them.
him the nerdy pastronaut. Then he started throwing picks. And you're like, yeah, we're taking that shit back.
You're done.
You're not the pastronaut anymore. You're just an astronaut. Emphasis on the ass. You're not. Okay? That's what you are now. An astronaut.
And now with the Washington Commanders, they are going with Jacoby Brissett for the final week of the season.
But here's the thing though. I feel like with Sam Howell's not hurt. Isn't he not hurt?
No.
I feel like the only problem, the thing is with them, is that this is the right time if you have another losing season to start a backup because you have nothing to play for.
That's true.
You have nothing to play for now, so you can tank for a higher pick the final game. But again, though, it's like some of these, like a lot of these quarterbacks are just getting hurt.
Yeah,
and a lot of backups are starting. Some fared well, some didn't. Josh Dobbs was like kind of decent, and then until he wasn't. And
he's
then
an average backup.
He's an average. He's an okay backup. He's serviceable. Zach Wilson should never see a down of freaking football ever again. If you ask me, he sucked.
And it's so crazy too.
I do think he got better at the maturity factor. Like he's like, it's on me every game now. He's not finger pointing. He's just not good. Flat out not good. Who else?
Yeah, Jake Browning for
Jake Browning. Holy shit, that man!
The Bengals are on the verge of making the playoffs under Jake Browning. It's like
he's good. He's good. He is a good backup. Honestly, I think someone's gonna fuck around and get him and make him a starter.
Well, here's the funny thing, because Jake Brown was the quarterback that got cut by Minnesota and went to Cincinnati.
Yeah, and then he's like, "You're gonna cut me" after a win against them.
Yeah,
I was like, that is some petty shit. He looked at a camera for the broadcast, the TV broadcast. He goes, "You're gonna cut me." I'm like, damn, that's petty.
So yeah, the 2023 NFL season has been very weird. From quarterbacks getting hurt, people are
it's kind of like a step back of quarterback play.
And yet you're seeing some rookies really stand out in this really weird down near QB play. CJ Stroud, Tank Dell, unfortunately, before he broke his leg. Hell, you had not just rookies, but you got guys like Robert Woods, who a past or prime Robert Woods, and still putting up some almost all pro type of numbers.
Yeah, it's been a crazy season. And here's the thing, and another crazy thing that I would put in there too is the fact that our team, Rob, is playing like a 4-11 team, but we're 11-4.
Yeah, we're playing like a JV team, basically.
We're playing we're not playing like a JV team. We're playing like a full-on high school varsity team. Not that like there's some mistakes here and there, but they're okay to win games.
Yeah, and they're just getting by.
Getting by, and they gotten by at 11, like at 11-4.
Now I can't get that out of my head. Well, but last and final thing, we're going to the NBA, and
oh boy, oh boy,
what the hell is wrong with you?
Ah boy, dude, it's just like every day these, and if you notice too, I've been watching like the CBS Sports like broadcast of like them breaking the news, and every single time
and it's not the guy.
No, but here's the thing: like every single time, you can tell like the guy breaking the news, and this is supposed to be a national broadcast. He's like progressively getting more pissed off at the losses, and he's getting more annoyed by it. And he's supposed to be like an unbiased national broadcast guy. If you got a guy who's completely unbiased getting pissed off, hell, Rob even got pissed off a few streams ago. I think the last All-Star Sports stream, he got pissed.
Yeah, I was.
Dude was full on red like a fucking tomato. He was so mad. But yeah, I'm starting to get annoyed by it too. I'm like, all right, guys, all right, what the hell is going on here? Hell, I was watching a guy who like breaks down like the plays of like different like teams and shit, and he's supposed to be unbiased too. He's getting pissed off. Oh, look at this. Missed assignment here. Oh, you're supposed to come down here and help double team this guy. You're not even setting a screen. What are you doing here? Like a lot of these fans, like a lot of NBA fans are legit getting pissed at the Pistons.
And rightfully so, because we expected a somewhat of a leap forward from them. With Kay Cunningham, Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, but we didn't expect, we didn't expect them to make the playoffs.
I would say
no one did.
On paper, they would at least been a 17 to 20 win team, but with a lot of losses.
That's everybody was saying. Everybody was saying at least they would be at least having 20 wins at this point.
40 wins to 62 losses is the way I would in an 82 game season.
Yeah, but they would at least be like probably like 10 wins like right now.
So with the Pistons, who actually did lose to the Brooklyn Nets back on Tuesday, 118 to 112, they unfortunately did set the streak or set the record for the longest single streak in a single season in NBA history at 27 games. Now, the record, I wish I would. The record.
But here's the thing, though. But here's the difference between the infuriating Detroit Pistons and our 2015-2016 Sixers. We were trying to lose.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what makes me pissed off about the 2015-2016 Sixers? It was for the bum Ben Simmons. Damn it.
Yeah. No.
But that was the only thing that pisses me off about the 2015-16 Sixers was that we were vying for that bum ass Ben Simmons. But I digress. But we were trying to lose. The Detroit Pistons, they were supposed to take that leap forward to make maybe at least probably 20 to 30 wins. Take a leap forward, not a huge ass step backwards.
It's like
from winning.
It's like you're taking one step forward and like 3 steps back. In this case, 15 steps back.
It wasn't 3 steps back. It was more like 15, 16 steps back.
Now, Well, looks like tonight the Pistons are going to tie the all-time losing streak record because they got to play Boston. And
Oh yeah, they're gonna get blown the fuck out tonight.
and according to CBS Sports, and shout out to Mac Yinzer Mac, the worst single season record since 2004 and four major North American sports. 2008 Lions when they went 0-16. The 2003 Tigers went 43-119. If any of those are NHL fans, everybody remembers how bad the 2019 Detroit Red Wings were, 17-49-5. And the Pistons this year on pace to be five wins and 77 losses. Oh,
well, no, I saw a stat. I saw a stat where they were like 4-40, whatever the hell.
Oh yeah, they're 4-49. They're 4-45 in their last 49 games.
Hold on. Last 49. Last 49. Come on. Stop that finger. Last 49 games.
Oof.
Oh damn. Oh they're dog shit.
Yeah, it's bad.
4-45 the last 49.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh my god.
We'll make that 4-46 in the last 50 games. They're going to be 4-47 the next 51.
Their last win came at like hold on. Yeah, is it this season? Yes, this season 2023. Their last win. This is regular season 10-20.
Yeah, this is a couple days before Halloween.
Yes. 10-28-23. A couple days before Halloween. And after that, they just kept on losing. And this has been going on.
Not going to win.
I don't think they're going to win another game. I don't. If they lost, if they're losing to like Utah Jazz,
first of all, the fact, and what's funny about that,
Cavaliers.
I mean, Cleveland, they're a decent team. I expected that, but the fact that Pistons were favored going into Utah, and you still fucking lost it,
dude. They had the game handed to them on a silver platter. Most of their damn starting lineup was hurt.
And the fact you still couldn't get it done.
They still fucking lost.
It's like, and honestly, I think Monty Williams, I think he's going to be one and done.
The problem is they got too much money tied to him.
Yeah, they really overpaid
for him. That'd be dead cap. They have too much money tied to him. So they can't get rid of him. That's a big issue. Now, I've seen Piston fans talk about how shit the owner is, talk about how quiet the GM was. Or no, the GM said that, oh, we're trying to win, we're trying to do. No, you're not. And then the owner was like, the owner was relatively silent through this whole thing.
I'll be right back.
So
bro.
They want those two gone. They want those two out of there. They want them to sell the fucking team. There's been some fans who are like, who are they gonna sell to? Because no one would want this team. How bad they are. It shouldn't be this current owner that should have this team, if you ask me. It should not. No ifs, ands, or buts there. None. But now they're on pace to tie the record of the 15-16 Sixers. But again, let me reiterate the two differences. It seems to me by the demeanor of the front office saying they're going to try to win games. They traded for Bogdanovich, and they still can't win because he's getting hurt. And but trading for Bogdanovich, you probably are closer to win a 40-game season. make it a 40-game season, a 40 game win season, where you win 40 games or more, a little bit more. You're coming off a rebuild, so to speak. Well, you get a quality veteran and you still can't win because he's getting hurt. And also another thing too. Nobody on this team can shoot. Nobody on the Pistons can shoot, and it's infuriating to a lot of Pistons fans. And for me, something's got to give with this team. Something really, because all I'm hearing is that they lost another game. Pistons fans are chanting "sell the team" again. They're wearing paper bags over their heads like they did when the Lions went 0-16. And it's just been a really, really, really crap season for this team. Really crap. Terrible. But at least with Philly, they were trying to lose to get a top pick.
Sorry about that. Out of a quick emergency.
That's fine. But they were trying to lose to get a top pick. But the Pistons, you don't trade for Bogdanovich to just keep losing games. They're trying to win by getting Bogdanovich. Problem is, they ain't winning shit.
And Bogdanovich can't stay healthy either.
He can't stay. Yeah, that's what I said when you were when Diddy was calling. But again, it's like they haven't won a game since 2 days before Halloween, 2 months ago.
And Tyler, you said they're not going to. Tyler, you called
literally today. Literally today. If they lose this game, they would not win in 2 months. If they lose tonight, literally tonight.
And it's going to get worse for the Pistons, especially going into January.
It will get worse because the slate of games that they have coming up in January. Oh boy!
And let's
this is why I'm saying, Rob, they're not going to win another game.
So, honestly, to kick off January because right now the only other two teams to wrap it up in the month of December is they're on the road in Boston, and who are not going to have Jaylen Brown, and I'm still think that's going to be a blowout on national television. Then you got the Raptors, who they're not terrible, but they're just not great either. Like they're like one of those teams. How do I explain this? They're not super terrible as the Pistons, but I would say they're more middle of the pack. Yeah, the Raptors.
Yeah, I feel like they're more of like maybe a 35-40 winning team. They might win maybe like 35 to 40 games, maybe 42 if they're lucky. But like, if they lose, like the Raptors, they'll give them a fit. Boston's gonna blow them the fuck out.
And just watch that they're gonna blow them out with no Jaylen Brown, for that matter. So to kick off the month of January, because we're gonna go through. Oh boy, it's a rough stretch. So kick off New Year's Day. They're traveling to Houston to take on the Rockets.
That's an L. Because of how scrappy the Rockets have been all season, that's an L.
Utah again in Utah.
L.
So their first 4 road games is Houston, Utah, Golden State, and Denver.
L.
Just 4 straight L's right there on the road.
4 L's.
There are 3 home games. You got Sacramento, San Antonio, and Houston again.
L. They might add if they lose to the Spurs, and they're an issue. So that might be a loss, but it also might be an accidental win where they accidentally just win a game.
Yeah, so we'll see. That's on January 10th.
We'll see what happens there.
January 15th, the Crap Bowl again. The Pistons and the Washington Wizards.
Oh, the Wizards are gonna win that one for sure.
And then the next 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But I feel like every team is going to try to win their games because no one wants to lose to a team like the Pistons anymore. They don't.
No,
Who
because it's
wants to
like
lose to who wants to lose to a 2-28 team? I sure
no, I
don't.
wouldn't. But the
I
next
sure
multiple home games that the Pistons have, they got to play Minnesota, Milwaukee on a back-to-back, Charlotte, who's not that great either, Washington again, and then Oklahoma City in terms of that home game stretch. Then they're away at Cleveland to end off the month of January. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. I think
Not
they
just
might.
the Pistons, but this entire the Central Division of the NBA is fucking trash. So let me see.
But divisions in football or divisions in basketball don't mean shit.
True.
They always go by conference now, so I really don't care about divisions.
Yep. So right now it's Detroit right now, 27 straight. They're averaging as a team 109.3 points per game as a team, but they're allowing opponents to put up over 120 a game on top of their heads during this losing streak.
Yeah, because I don't know what's going. I don't know if it's a scheme. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the coaching. But I don't know what the hell is going on. They're missing screens. They're not closing out on time. There's been a few times where hell, even Cade Cunningham isn't setting his damn feet. And it's just like they're not even trying on defense. They're not trying.
Because it's like this is no wonder why you see the Pistons always picking like the top 5 each and every year. Because you got the players. I mean, look, Cade's doing all he can. He has
multiple 40-point games.
And they still can't do nothing for him.
And they still can't win in those games. It's like,
and I know, Tyler, I know you might disagree with me on this one, please. I even put this out on my Twitter, basically say, if I'm Cade, no matter I'm putting up some all-star type of numbers, and the team's not doing nothing for me, I would ask out of Detroit immediately.
I wouldn't. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because this team wasn't slated to win anyway. This team is only going to win 20 games, if at best. So, and plus, they only got one player out of that draft that was decent, and that was Cade Cunningham. Rebuilds take time. You think 2 years into a rebuild I'm going to leave because the team's still shit? No. And I get it's been 4 years for fans and they're fed up. I get that. And
or at this point, sell the fucking team. At this point, I'm sorry I had to use it up,
but no, I'm definitely going to disagree with the take of you saying Cade Cunningham needs to walk after or ask for a trade. No, absolutely not. I think what Cade needs to do is just play his brand of basketball. But get better on defense. Play his brand of basketball, and the owner needs to sell the team. The GM needs to be fired. And they need to do something about this. Because this team should be developing, not taking 15 steps back. All right? They won what? 10
They won 17 games last year.
17 games. You go from 17 games. You go from winning 17 games to only winning 2.
So
that's not that. No. You should be winning. You should be at least winning maybe like 25, 30 at this point.
They have not even cracked the 30-win mark at all at this point.
None.
So here's the thing.
They're barely even cracking 10. at this point in the
And
season.
shout out to my boy Arkham Raider. What's good, man? Appreciate you coming in.
What's up, Arkham Raider?
Now,
Yeah, they're not
and
even cracking
obviously,
10 wins.
shout out and credit to ESPN who actually showed, and obviously, who actually did showed their the records by a year for the Pistons. 2019-20 to the 2020 season, 20-46. Because that was, I think, the COVID shortened season, if I remember correctly. No,
COVID
wait a minute.
2020?
No, what am I thinking? It's 20 to 2021 is what I meant to say.
20 to 2021. That's when they came. That was the second time they came back. It was kind of shortened because they had to rush. The beginning, or no, they pushed it. Oh wait, no, they did shorten it because they wanted to meet that quota of playing in the finals in June in 2021. So they shortened it a little bit.
So 2019 to 2020.
Because it went from because they went from 82 they went from 82 games to 80 that year.
2020 the Pistons played 72. So
yeah, they went from 82 to 72. They cut it to 10.
Yeah,
they cut 10 games off of that. So they went 72 games instead of 82 because they were trying to meet that quota of playing the finals in June, so that they can start on time the next year.
Right. So the 2019 to 20 season, they went 20-46. That's a 303 winning percentage. The following year, 20-52. Their best season to date in terms of being under 500 was in 2021. They went 23-59. Last year they went 17-65, and now 2-28. Yeah.
Do you notice something? They're not even improving. They're regressing every year. It's I don't think Kate Cunningham walks. I still disagree with that. But that owner and that GM is just shit.
It's gonna give them, because look, I know me and Taro, we're casual basketball fans. So it's look, you want to roast this? It's you don't know this, yada yada yada. But like I said, the eye test says for itself of how bad this Pistons team really is. And the fact that you're having a guy like Cade, who I thought he was actually a solid pick for the Pistons, have to carry this team on his goddamn back almost each and every night because your supporting cast doesn't want to fucking help him. I'm sorry, but that's.
But here's the thing, though. But here's the thing. I get the team wasn't supposed to be good, in from the jump. I get they weren't supposed to be good. But they at least have to be competent to win more than 2 fucking games.
The fact that their 2 wins came out to 2 teams who are completely ass. The Chicago Bulls and the Charlotte Hornets. That was it. It's
And my stupid ass said, oh, the Pistons are here when they were 2-1. No.
No.
And hell, you have guys on fucking YouTube, Pistons fans, breaking the fuck down.
Oh God, I feel bad. I really do feel bad for Pistons fans.
I watched a guy. I think it was Commander Dynamo, or whatever hell his name is. Holy shit, he broke the fuck down. He's getting more progressively pissed off.
I've seen
your guy that you watch. You were telling me about crying his fucking eyes out, drinking, mimicking the fucking owner. I'm like, geez, he is really broken.
Look, we've seen teams, no matter what sport is, teams hit rock bottom. But this is a living embodiment of rock bottom have I ever seen from an NBA team in my 20-some odd years as a casual fan.
Yeah, then you have fans acting like they lost their house. It's bad. It is bad in Detroit. I feel bad for Pistons fans. I really do. They deserve a hell of a lot better than what they've gotten the last 4 years. The last what? 2 decades. The last 2 decades.
Because here's the thing: go back to the late 90s and the 2000s Pistons teams. Always winning teams with Rasheed Wallace. You had Chauncey Billups, at the prime of his career. You had
Yeah, you had Sheed, you had Wallace, you had Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace, yeah.
Ben Wallace. You had
Uh,
you had Chauncey there, but that wasn't the '90s. That was the 2000s. Nothing about the '90s. You had who else? Rip Hamilton. He ripped into the team yesterday.
you know what's bad that he had, and let's be real, the 2000 Pistons were a fun team to watch back in the day.
Oh my god, they were awesome. They
And
beat
to see a complete
dude. The fact that they beat the Kobe and Shaq led Lakers in 2004.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then they got into a fight with freaking the Pacers at one time.
Oh yeah, the Mouse in the Palace, probably the most.
Yep.
Oh come on, that's like even though it's most of the most infamous, but at the same time, it's.
But it changed NBA history, though. It really changed it because both teams had like half their team suspended. Both teams were like slated for the finals appearance, play each other in the finals. None of them went because half their team was freaking out the team for the playoffs. So it was like it changed the course of NBA history. But after that, they were like constantly trying to retool, and I think their last playoff appearance was like 08, 09.
And ever since then, it's been a hard downfall ever since.
And then they're dumbasses. They traded Chauncey Billups for a washed-up Allen Iverson. Huh?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It was 09. It was 09. It was 08 or 09. They traded for a washed-up Allen Iverson.
And I think Iverson at that time was in his early 30s and was on the back end of his career. It's
injury history and all this other. He wasn't like the dynamic player he was. He would make some flashy moves, but he wasn't as dynamic as he was in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. But you get a washed-up Allen Iverson for Chauncey Billups, who then again went on to went all NBA that year for another team. It was the Nuggets because he was with Melo at the time. He won like all NBA. He got all NBA. He made the playoffs.
That's like
it was just like holy shit.
So this is basically what the 2004. If you go to the 2004 champion Pistons, you had Chucky Atkins, a prime Chauncey Billups, Romo Sedge Garner Johnson for whatever fucking reason that came.
Chauncey Garner Johnson.
Yeah, for some reason that almost popped in my head for whatever reason, so I caught myself.
Wrong sport there, bud.
Eldon Campbell, Hubert Davis, Tremaine Folks, Darvin Ham, who was actually now currently coaching the LA Lakers, and surprisingly, actually doing decent. Richard Hamilton, pretty much Rip Hamilton, as a lot of people. Lindsey Hunter, Mike James. Oh boy, talk about a bust of a pick. Darko Milicic. So everybody remember that?
Oh dear God. Oh dear. How the hell did he have a chip?
Yeah, I know. Mehmet
Okur. That pick was so fucking bad.
Tayshaun Prince.
He was good dude. You know what I remember from Tayshaun Prince is not his run in the 2000s. It was the fact they tried to keep him in the 2010s. He was washed up. And they tried their best to keep him.
Prime.
It was like, are y'all stupid? Get rid of Tayshaun Prince and build for the future. And that was like the first half of the 2010s. It was like they just couldn't get rid of Tayshaun. It was like, get rid of him.
You had Zečko. You got a dude from Serbia. He's a 7-foot center at 257. Jeez, they don't make those centers anymore nowadays. Bob Sura, who was a shooting guard. You had Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, and the Corliss Williamson for the 2004 Detroit Pistons.
They had themselves a team except for Darko because Darko was ass. But yeah, it was like. But here's the thing, though. It was like they were trying their best to make another run at the finals in the whole 2000s, and they were making the playoffs. That was a good run for them from like 03 to like 08. And then like then their stupid asses, like I said, traded Chauncey Billups for a goddamn washed up Allen Iverson. They just made the playoffs like
that's not, and that's kind of pain in the
and
sand
they
as
just made the playoffs too, or at like 41-41, and then they just shit the bed after that.
I mean, then you had and a lot of Sixers fans remember the head coach for that 03-04 Pistons team was Larry fucking Brown.
Fuck, dude, like I wasn't upset about that. You know, like Larry Brown, he was a tremendous coach for us. We just had a hothead. We had Iverson when he was a hothead, and a bunch of guys who were hurt.
Yeah,
That was the only problem. I think we would have won the finals if Allen Iverson was, you know, Allen Iverson was Allen Iverson, and yeah, he was a bit of a hothead, and he kind of butted heads with him. But like once he gelled with him in 01, it was all guns. But they got older guys, and half of them got hurt in the finals in 01.
yeah.
And it was like you get old dudes who are not washed up but injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to win the finals, and plus you're going up against the damn Showtime fucking Lakers with Shaq and Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: Allen Iverson gave us a memorable moment by stepping over Tyronn Lue. That's a memorable moment.
That's kind of the crazy part too. I'm one of those two that's still talking and kind of still still talking his shit a little bit. But at the same point,
he stepped over Tyronn Lue.
And obviously, when you look at the Pistons from the 2000s up till now, for me, I think their best season was in 05 when they put up a 64-18 season under Flip Saunders.
But again, they got to the conference finals and they lost. They were trying to make it to the finals every year after that. They couldn't do it.
And that was against them. Okay, no, because when did LeBron go to
Miami?
05? That was in 05. That was the Eastern Conference
05-06 season? That was Miami.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because you still had
Chris
Bosh was still there.
You had that. You had a prime Dwayne Wade. You had a prime Dwayne Wade. And you had Shaq there too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Shaq. I had to stop with
Miami. Yeah, he was there in Miami. It was Shaq and Dwayne Wade, and a few good role players there that got him the win.
Yeah, so pretty much the roster during that time in 05-06 consisted of Derek Anderson, Shandon Anderson, Earl Barron, Michael Dolak, Gerald Fitch, Udonis Haslem. The fact that he still had been around this freaking line.
The fact that he stayed around till like 2021, bro. Crazy.
It's mind-boggling. Jason Capono, Alonzo Mourning, Shaq, Gary Payton, who was on the older side of things. James Posey, Wayne Simeon, Dwayne Wade, Antoine Walker. Boy, I haven't heard that name in years. Matt Walsh, Jason Williams, and Dorrell. Ooh, God, Dorrell Wright. Jesus, well, that's you. And then you get Pat Riley.
Why does that name sound familiar? Dorrell Wright.
He was a small forward. Well, I mean, I guess that's pretty much he's kind of forgotten. In 549 career games, he's averaging not even 8.4 points a game.
Oh God, I know who he is. Oh no. Yes, dear God. Oh dear God, he's with the process Sixers. Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Oh dear God. He was shit. He was so shit for Philly. Oh no.
But
the PTSD just hit. No. He was so bad for Philly too.
And with the Pistons, though, it's like, and you could see, I would say, what post 2008, you could see the slow downfall of the Pistons, and they weren't.
He He was with the damn team that went fucking the former GM fucked up. That was the season that we had gotten what's his face? Freaking Bynum, and he didn't even play a freaking game.
Yeah. In terms of the Pistons going, yeah.
Dude, you know how bad he was? They only have one stat. They only have one freaking game that they were like describing like what game he had during the Sixers thing on Wikipedia.
Shoot.
Guess how many? Guess what his stat line was for this one game.
Shoot.
On October 31st, 2012. Somehow the Sixers won this game against the Nuggets, 84-75. This man, Darrell Wright, averaged only got 3 points in this game, 1 rebound, 1 assist in 16 freaking minutes.
And by today's standards, boy, you get a lot of NBA fans are be chewing that dude.
He would get a freaking door. He's out of the league at that point.
So we did have some breaking news earlier.
But again, Rob, it happens again. When he went to the Trailblazers the next year, he averaged in one game 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, again in 16 minutes.
I mean, shoot, can't be worse. Yeah. But we did have some NBA breaking news earlier. Courtesy, obviously, as well, that Lonzo Ball has been running again. It has been cleared to start running again in January, according to Billy Donovan.
Okay.
And I know we haven't really talked on Lonzo because it's like I feel bad for the dude. I really do.
Dude, he actually had he was starting to shine. He was really starting to shine. And he was part of the reason why they made the playoffs just last year. It was just like he's finally starting to show what he was in college. He's in the league today. And he was starting to show why the Lakers drafted his ass. And it's just like he got that leg injury, and there's been questions. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? But now that you said he's running again and he's mobile and he's fine, by the coach's standards, he can run now. I feel like he will be back. I feel like he will be back now. I'm more comfortable to say he will be back soon. But there was a time where during the 2-year stretch that he was out. Is he going to play another game?
Another game again? Like, is he really going to have to hang out the sneakers, so to speak? Because it's like, I really hate to see someone's career get prematurely ended. And in the case of Lonzo, like just who couldn't stay healthy the last couple of years, because of that knee was always a problem. It's it sucks, man. Like I said, I wish nothing but the best for Lonzo because the Bulls definitely miss him. You can tell that this Bulls team definitely misses Lonzo because when Lonzo's on the floor, and granted, look, me and Tyro and I think Gooley and shout out to our buddy Gooley, who's all things Chicago, will tell you otherwise. And the Bulls would be slightly better, but at the same time, Bulls fans want Billy Donovan gone. But that's here nor there.
Honestly, I think this team, Rob, to be honest with you, I think they would probably be 500 with Lonzo on the court.
Oh yeah, at least
500. At least either 500 or at least 2 games over. I don't think they'd be this bad.
No, they are now, not at all.
Sitting at 4-8, like not doing that great. It's. I really don't. I don't think they'd be that bad.
And And a couple more things too that I've been seeing too, which has been kind of has been catching my eye the last month or so. I've been seeing there's been some rumors, but it's like I said, I'm taking these with a grain of salt that Cleveland may not retain Donovan Mitchell going into 2024.
It's because they paid him all this money and they're just okay.
Because right now we look at the because you have pretty much. The Bulls right now are currently sitting at 14 and 18 through 22 games.
I want to say 4 and 8, 14 and 18. Yeah, they're 4 games under 500. I would think they would be at least 18 and 18 with him on the court. And the thing is, I know we had the injury history since LA, but
and I think we did talk about this before. That also goes back to if you looked at his early days before he even got drafted.
College, he had that issue in college
look
too.
Look at LaMelo. He's been having a hard time staying healthy. It's like,
yep.
I was like, wow, are we really going to see? Well, LaMelo, I think he's going to always finds a way to get healthy. But Lonzo, on the other hand, it's just like he's like, oh, because he's always like say healthy, but it's like, nope. And here's a setback with the knee again. And it's like, well, shit. It really.
And everybody's saying, oh, he's having another surgery. He might be back in like a few months. Nope, another knee surgery is happening. What? Like,
I was like, because me and Tyler were talking on the phone about this because this is before we brought this show together. It's like I'm thinking to myself, like, could this really put him out of the league for good? Because it's sad to say that nonetheless for a guy like Lonzo. Pretty much our age, can't stay healthy for whatever reason. And also that would say that'll put some blame on LeVar for pushing them too hard. And unfortunately, we're seeing the after effects with Lonzo with his knee. And I think with LaMelo, I think other could be who knows with him because he's going to have some random injuries too. And yeah, I gotta say that because I know and we said the 2023 NFL season was weird. I think you got to put the NBA season up there too, to an extent, because you're seeing some teams that are surprising. Teams like Orlando, which who would have thought they would be 6 games over 500? I never had that on my bingo card for whatever reason.
I expected Orlando to make
at least take a step forward, but not to what
I think they would. I think they would be winning. So I don't think that's that great.
Oklahoma City, well, that's actually kind of to be expected. -2. Well, all the shit that's been surrounding them. And I'm not going to say why, but if you're now switch to the
if
MLB,
you want to know why that he's saying that, look at our last episode because we talked more in depth of that situation.
Oh, and Tyler, you thought that was getting worse? Wait till you get to because we had an update to the Wander Franco problem
God, get to that now. Get to that right now because
he has house raided in the Dominican Republic and he's on the run. Basically, yeah, it's bad.
Oh no. Oh no. He is a fugitive. He's a fugitive running right now.
Because
he's running away. Oh no. Oh no.
Because I want to see if I can find that.
You get banned from the league. You get banned from the freaking league, and now this. Oh no. I'm googling this shit too. Hold on.
I'm trying to find the tweet. Okay, so I actually found it through from a tweet from the New York Post. So Wander Franco no shows after being summoned for questioning about alleged underage relationships. Good fuck.
Yeah, he no shows agency summons. So he no showed. He dismisses lawyers prior to the scheduled summoning time, according to the Associated Press.
Boy, that's
the agency director reported that the investigation is going to continue. Before Franco no-showed his summoning, Dominican Republic authorities searched Franco's home in Villarreal. I don't know if I'm saying it right. And his mother's home on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's...
The authorities reportedly left messages with Franco's wife. He's married. Holy fuck. How fucked do you have to be doing all this shit?
Man. And the fact that the Rays again...
And you're fucking married. Yo.
See, and this is why I question the athlete. Look, I question a lot of things, especially with athletes and IG models. That's one situation that needs to be avoided because that's, well, gold ain't waiting to happen because we've seen a couple instances with that. But for the love of all that is holy, stay within your age with 18 plus, you scumbags. I wanted to have choice words because I don't want to get this.
No, but here's what makes this whole situation worse for Franco. He was fooling around with a kid and he was married at the same time.
Oh God, that
not only are you cheating, you're cheating on your wife with a fucking teenager, you scumbag.
I'm gonna puke.
I want to. I fucking want to right now. This is dude.
This is ridiculous.
It's disturbing. It's fucking disturbing.
Oh God. Yeah, and trust me, I'm not. And
if you gotta step out the puke, go ahead, because I won't hold you to it.
Damien, I'm with you on that. Like the fact that
this is the main reason why I will never be a fan over an athlete because of stupid shit they do. Exactly. A lot of these athletes let the money and the fame get to their heads, and they do stupid shit like this.
Oh, and for those who are wondering, yeah, I'm not faking that. I'm really not.
No, you hear the girls like you're really about to.
Because it is disgusting and tire-putted.
It's disturbing. There's no question about it. It is disgusting. It is disturbing. And yeah, this is how bad it is, guys. You thought the Josh Giddey shit was bad. This is worse. And Josh Giddey's situation, that's terrible in its own right.
But and a lot of people say, "Oh, why doesn't high profile media don't talk about it?" Well, because here's the thing: they can't because because with the investigation protocol, you can't really say much on it.
Legal reasons. That's the only, and they're currently investigating it. But they did. But they have had updates. Online, like he's now on the run.
That's
authorities.
That's like
that makes
that tells me he did it.
That makes it. It's obvious he did it. There's freaking Instagram pictures. It's already known he did it. He got banned from the league because of it. It's already known he did it. But now you're dodging authorities because you know that you're gonna get booked in prison.
Yeah, you got caught. So
like you were caught. You knew you were caught. You knew that you did something that was disturbing. You knew what you did, Franco.
Oh, trust me, Damien. Malik Andrews will always find a way to go out on a witch hunt for no matter who it is, because that's what she does. She's a pot stirrer for a lack of a better term.
Yeah, she stirs the pot sometimes, most of the
Oh
time.
yeah,
But Malika Williams, she's majority NBA though. She's not really baseball.
well,
Um,
then again, we'll see. But outside of that, before we get up out of here, we do have a bit of a scoring update between the Pistons and the Celtics. Pistons are actually winning by 8 in the first. How much you want to bet that's not going to last long?
give it time. That's all I gotta say. Give it time. They will blow
Because
that.
right
Look,
now,
the last game. That's only 2 points more than the last game they led. Give it time. They're gonna blow this one.
yeah, but outside of that, minus me getting sick to my stomach, just figuratively and
Updating you guys on the Wander Franco situation.
even though it's one of the topics topics like that we don't really usually do, but knowing that it's been more in current events the last handful of weeks, for that matter, it's like, it really, and like Tyler said, it goes to the fame and forward, but the fact that he did it was married is one thing. But to do it for someone who's under 16, under the age of 18, is a whole nother thing. That I don't know. What else is there to say?
It's so messed up. It is completely messed up.
It's just my stomach is in knots. Literally speaking, figuratively speaking,
your stomach turned over the situation. I understand. I completely understand. You know, I'm not more of like I'm like less like shit like this doesn't like physically affect me, but mentally I'm sickened too.
Because it's like
I'm sick.
Because Franco is in his early 20s, and the fact you messed around with a kid or a teen,
a fucking kid, and you're a married fucking man.
Oh God, I don't know. But outside of that, it might have just almost me getting sick because of that. You know. Outside of that, guys, if you guys are new, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and we are out.
Peace.